Hey, welcome back.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Welcome back to another live Sunday with TSP. Today we're on with Leah, who joined the second best branch of the military.
No. First, man. Come on now.
All right, before we get started, I got some breaking news. The Super Bowl is on behind me, and a kid from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, just threw a touchdown pass.
Shut up.
I swear to God. I think he was a receiver. He just dropped back and he threw a little trickeration play. Kid from Murfreesboro, man. Just making history out there in the NFL.
Well, Murfreesboro is the best. I mean, ever.
Yes. So, all right, before we get going, we have a message from our sponsor over at Single Tree Barbecue, Mr. Charlie.
What is going on, guys? It's your man Charlie right here from Single Tree Barbecue. Did you know we are on a mission to build community through undeniable hospitality and the perfect plate of barbecue? Y'all come check us out, 2805 Old Fort Parkway, right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 8, Sundays from 11 to 4. Give us a call at 615-307-0120. You can check us out on all the social platforms at Single Tree BBQ. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate all the support.
Thank you, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie is also, and he doesn't even know this, he's also the sponsor of our VFW's newest website. So thank you, Charlie, for all that you do in the great city of Murfreesboro.
Yeah. So my message out there to the people in Facebook land, YouTube land, turn off the Super Bowl, man. We got Leah here. This is way more exciting.
She's way more important than this Kansas City, San Francisco thing.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. Take a compliment, my dear. You are amazing. You do the best graphics for us. And yes, I owe you money, and you'll get paid on Wednesday. I swear to God.
It's all right.
Check is in the mail.
Damn, Andrew.
Hey, listen, I got to wait for my Social Security, man.
Hey, if you're doing work for Angie, you gotta wait till he pays up front and then do the work.
No, we have a deal. We have a deal. We're good. We have a connection.
We're good. Yeah,
We're good.
It always gets paid, so I just don't really worry about how sometimes it takes
I give her free advertising all the time.
Yeah.
I don't even charge her for that.
I'm just giving you
I
a
tell all
hard
my
time,
guys to go buy her sweatpants, go buy her sweatshirts, buy her creative designs.
Hey,
Actually, wait, didn't I give your name out? I thought I gave your name out to someone.
You gave it to me.
Was it to you?
You might have, I already reached out to her. I'm going to have her redesign my
your
logo
thing?
for minutes wisely. I got a lot of shit going on, but you'll hear from me soon, Leah.
she'll kill it. She killed it with the IW Southern Conference logo. Jason Johnson saw it. I was like, holy shit, that's awesome. I'm like, dude, it's Leah. It's Agler Creative. I mean, come on now. What more can you ask for?
Yes. All right. Before we get started here, I want to thank all of our Patreon members, everybody that supports us, everybody that's bought the book. Hey, listen, if you get some good quotes, Leah, you just might be in the next book.
All right.
So I wrote a cookbook, and I put my two favorite things together, talking to veterans and cooking. So inside this cookbook, it's not just recipes. There's actual quotes from this podcast. And
Leah, you are the 97th? Is she the 97th?
Yes, this is episode 97.
You are episode 97, Leah. Congratulations.
Thanks. That's a lot.
Yes. We've been kicking ass.
Fleek, I got one question. I was at Single Tree the other day, and they don't have they have the cooler and the book and stuff like that. I didn't buy a raffle ticket because the raffles were still, it hadn't been broken open. So I don't know if I asked Sarah if she knew how to do it, and she didn't know how to do it. So, and Charlie wasn't there.
Yeah.
Have you given them directions yet?
I dropped off all the stuff. I just assumed. I don't know. I'll reach out to Charlie.
Okay.
Find out what we can do.
I wanted to buy a raffle, and I still will.
So what Andrew's talking about is we're raffling off a Yeti cooler with a bunch of swag inside the cooler. So for $10, you could own a Yeti cooler and
it's a cool cooler.
A copy of From Sailor to Backyard Cook.
And
How
Paul
riveting.
and your buddy's book as well.
Yes, Chief Paul Freeman wrote a book, and that's also in there. So, yes, a lot of good stuff. And we're working on a second book right now. So, like I said, you might be in Andrew's cookbook.
My brother was a chef, really good chef out in Seattle before he passed away. And I gave Fleek, well, I didn't give him, I let him borrow. Yes. He's got 4 binders of the fanciest food that you will ever frickin' eat. For those high-class Seattle people.
Yeah, this shit's well over my head, so I have to
like Berglanc and frickin', I mean, all kinds of stuff. Like, nobody would know what any of that stuff is in Tennessee.
Yeah, I was reading this shit, and I was like, how am I supposed to put this in a book? I don't even know what the hell this shit is.
Well, let me throw this out there. I can do like book publication design stuff too. If you guys are ever looking like multiple page layouts and then like, yeah.
Oh.
So I can do stuff like that as well.
Look at her working us, man.
Dude, she's working us, man.
I really like laying out books. It's really fun.
I hope she doesn't charge you as much as she charges me.
She doesn't know yet, but she's going to give me the deal of the century.
Yeah, she probably will. Just because you're the past commander and you've got this stoic beard that is just amazing.
It's gray. Showing my age.
All
right.
Yeah, I don't have any announcements. I really don't. I want to hear Leah's story. I really do.
Yeah. Before we get started, Frontline Festival. It's information hopefully will be coming in the next week or two on that. So all right, Leah, where did you grow up? Where'd you went to high school? Where'd you go to high school? Why'd you join the Marine Corps? Why?
You now.
All right. So I grew up in Bucyrus, Ohio, which is about 30 minutes from where I'm living right now in Mansfield, Ohio. It's a pretty small town. I think it's got like 10,000 people or something in it. I had like 100 people in my graduating class, which was called Colonel Crawford High School. I got into graphic design actually in high school. I went to like a trade school called Pioneer Career and Technology Center. So for my junior and senior year, I would do graphic design for half a day, and then my academic classes I needed to graduate for the other half of the day. So that kind of got me into design and Adobe and the programs and everything that I still work in now. But when I was a senior, I knew the Marine recruiter that used to come to Pioneer, and he kind of talked me into like, well, I have to have like so many interviews, so like just come talk to me. And so I was like, all right. I was very athletic. I was really into track, and my goal at the time was to run track in college. And I did end up getting hurt, and I didn't really recover as well as I thought, and so I didn't end up with the track scholarships that I was hoping for. And in January of my senior year, I stepped in and I got my ship date for July of 2011. So I graduated in June of 2011, and I turned 18 July 8th, and I left for boot camp July 25th, 2 weeks later. Go ahead.
No. Continue on your story. I have other questions for you, but gotcha. You haven't gotten there yet.
So why did I join the Marine Corps? I was very athletic and competitive, and so that was kind of what got me interested in it to begin with. I went and met with the recruiter, and then he was like, hey, we do PT every Saturday morning. And so I was like, let me see if I can come like compete with these people. Like, let me see how hard it is, like what it's all about. So I started going to the PTs, and that just kind of got me more and more interested in it. And what really sold me is that I found out about combat camera, and I told my recruiter, I was like, if you contract me combat camera, I'll join. And if you don't, like, I'm going to go to college. And so he worked it out and got me combat camera. And I was like, okay, so I'll either do photo, video, or graphic design is like the 3 options basically, which I didn't get to choose design, but I ended up getting design. So that kind of worked out. So I was a 4612 production specialist. And really I just joined the Marines because it was, you know, the best, the hardest, and I was so competitive. I was like, physically, I feel like I could do it, but it would be a challenge for me. And like, I'm kind of all about doing stuff to see if I can do it. So I think that's kind of what started that. And I knew the Marine recruiter, so that's who I first started like speaking with. And so
recruiter's name wasn't Louis Jablonski, was it?
No.
Dude.
It was
really?
Staff Sergeant Hayes.
You remember your recruiter's name? I can't even remember my recruiter's name. Holy shit.
Yeah, Staff Sergeant.
That's pretty good.
I ran into him when I was a corporal, and he was a gunny at a field op on Pendleton. What? And he was in the armory line behind me, and I turned around. I was like, somebody stared at me. I turned around, and he was in the armory line behind me as we were going to the field. Yeah.
Holy
but he was
shit.
cool. Our town was small. He used to like hang out and drink with my dad and stuff. So yeah, he was cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So he kind of, I don't know, basically was just like, I'll get you a combat camera. And I was like, all right, then I'll do it. And that was it, really.
Where's combat camera school?
It is at Fort Meade, Maryland. It's called DINFOS. It's like Defense Information School, and it's where all of the branches go for like public affairs and combat camera and any kind of like broadcasting, like all the PR type stuff. So we're there with other branches and whatnot.
Wow.
How long is school?
I think it was like a month, 2 months. I'm like, it's a long time ago. I can't remember. I was there for a few months, but I was like waiting to pick up class at first. So maybe 2 months or so. It's different so like I had the production specialist class, whereas there's a separate photography class and video class, and then there's public affairs, and then public affairs secondary was broadcasting. So there was a lot of different types. And then I went back in 2013 and did a digital media course, DMC. So it was like a follow-up design club course.
So you guys make all the pamphlets and all that kind of stuff for recruiting people and.
Yeah, so we do a lot of, when I was in anyways, it was a lot of like servicing the wherever base that you're at. So all the units could come to the combat camera shop and say, we need this flyer, or I need a retirement brochure or an invitation, or these posters that we want to put up that have, all the like learning stuff on them. Or we need multiple page publications. Like we need 200 of this book because it's for like training. So we would do stuff like that. So it's basically reproduction and design as well.
Damn, that's a good job. Damn.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that it exists, basically. Like I had a client recently I was working with, and he was like, so he was referred to me by another veteran business owner that I work with. And he's like, so like, how did you get from the military to like doing what you're doing now? And I kind of explained it, and he was like, I had no idea. So yeah, I've been doing creative stuff from high school into the military.
Leah, somebody wants to say hi to you.
Hi.
Okay, hey guys, it's my wife and it's my dog Baron, but she wanted to say hi to Leah.
Oh, I thought she wanted to say hi to me.
Hey, honey, did you want to say hi to Fleek too? Yeah, sorry, Pass, come here. Oh man, you got a kiss? Damn, I don't even get that. Hey, Get out. Sorry, guys. Katrina just wanted to say hi to you guys.
So, did you get deployed while you're in the Marine Corps?
Yes. So first I went to Okinawa was my first station, and so I got to do I got to do a couple like humanitarian stuff to like Philippines, Thailand, which were like a month, 2 months at a time. But then I went to 1st Marine Division at Pendleton, and that's what I did. And I did an SP MAGTAF too. We were based out of Kuwait, but I was in Kuwait, Iraq, and Bahrain. So we only had one combat camera team, and we were based in Kuwait. So they would fly us out to the other like bases to cover certain things.
What years were you in?
I was in from 2011 to 2016, and I deployed in 2015.
Was Raymond Lott a part of your group?
I don't know that name.
The Marine rapper, he's combat camera.
Oh.
No, okay. Just asking.
No,
it's probably like a small MOS, right? I mean,
it is
probably
pretty small, yeah. I know. I mean, I do know a lot of us know each other between combat camera and public affairs because we all go to the same schools, and they're actually consolidated now. They weren't consolidated until after I got out, but they are public affairs.
It's called Comstrat now.
Comstrat, Communication Strategics. Yeah. So that happened. Actually, they were talking about it as I was getting out about combining them, but we were separate when I was in.
So, wasn't Joker? Isn't that what Joker did?
I think that was public affairs, wasn't it?
I don't. You know how
so Queen Margaret's not coming.
I just remember him being in Vietnam and had like cameras and shit. I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Yeah, I think it was public affairs.
He could, yeah. He was right. Yeah, he was Matthew Modine was the writer. Joker was the photographer.
Yeah.
Right? Is that right?
I think so. I remember him having a camera. But
man, it's been a lot. Hey, you know what? It's on Netflix. I'll watch it tonight. I'll let you guys know.
Andrew, you're supposed to have that movie memorized, man.
No, I'm not that motarded anymore. I'm not. Okay, I'm chilling out a little bit. Yes, and Leah, yes, they called me motard every single day of my life.
Didn't they?
Because I love the Marine Corps. I did, and that's why I got, I got that. Did you get a Marine Corps EGA?
So I don't have an EGA, but I have a Spirit A Comcam.
Oh my God!
Spirit A cord, and there's a few combat camera people that have a Spirit A Comcam, as you know.
What?
Comcam, yeah. So
is that even allowed? Okay, wow, that's awesome. That's hot, man. I'm like,
somebody made it
free the cameraman.
Basically, being proud to be a part of combat camera. Like, I loved my job, and I think that had I not had the job that I had, I wouldn't have enjoyed my service as much as I did, because I really got to do some cool stuff. And when we would go out on exercises or deployments or anything, they would always be like, "Hey, combat camera, do you want to do this? Do you want to shoot this or try this or do that?" And they would always tell you just always.
What?
Yeah,
Wait, you got to drive a tank?
I drove a tank in 29 Palms out in the field.
Man, the only cool thing I got to do was fire a couple mortar rounds, like looms, and that was it. Damn, drive a tank? Come on, Neary, what's going on?
Well, I mean, units liked us because we'd give them photo and video of them doing what they do, and so a lot of times they're like, "Hey, cut my camera, you want to try?" And the rule was always say yes. So I always
I always thought the rule was to say no.
Never again volunteer yourself. Maybe.
If we were attached to a unit, then we were kind of our own little entity. So we got to try whatever we wanted. But yeah, my job was really fun. I did some crossover into photo and video, depending on what it was. Like on deployment, I would take a camera kit and do photo, but then I would do design when they needed me to, because to be honest, there's not a lot of need for that. When you're forward deployed, I mean, there is more so in, they were taking people from combat camera and going into PSYOPs to do flyer drops and stuff like that. They were taking designers to permanently like be with those kind of units when I was getting out. But yeah, I did a lot of photo on deployment, and I did some video and field ops and stuff like that. And then when we were back, you know, when I was on Pendleton or in Okinawa, it was basically like a big print shop that we would service the base basically.
That's cool.
Do you have any cool photos that you're not supposed to have?
I don't know if I have any I'm not supposed to have. I had some that were not released. Like when I went to Thailand, have you guys seen where they do the jungle training and they cut the head off the cobra and then you get to drink the cobra blood?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
We got a bunch of pictures. So we got pictures of that, and I did that, and they were like, hey, you can't release the cobra blood pictures because like people take them and use them again, like in certain ways in the past. And so those weren't releasable, but we were allowed to like, I was allowed to take it and like put it on my Facebook. It just didn't go on like, it didn't get published by the Marine Corps being like, drinking cobra blood.
I mean, that's pretty cool. But again, this is why y'all are the number 2 branch and the Navy's number 1, because we don't drink cobra blood.
It makes you, dude, if you drink cobra blood, it makes you piss excellence. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I did have two cousins that were in the Navy. They were brothers, and they tried to convince me to join the Navy when I first started. Like, keep it in the family and join the Navy. And I was like, no, I don't want to get stuck. I didn't want to risk getting stuck on a ship.
Yeah. It's a rough life, that's for sure.
I was on a ship once, and I did like a 3-week float to from Pendleton to San Francisco, and it was just for Fleet Week. And then they were actually commissioning the ship in San Francisco, and so that was the only experience I really had on a ship. But that was enough time for me. It was like 3 weeks or so, and I was like, that's enough.
Did you get to man the rails?
Yeah, like when we pulled in and we were all
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't there. I was taking photos of people manning the rails, but
cool.
That's even better, because manning the rails is, I mean, it's a pretty proud moment when you're doing it, but let's face it, it sucks pretty much.
Basically.
Hey, change of command ceremony, man. That's like 3 hours of position of attention. That sucks.
Yeah. So I have photos of that I took, and photos of the commissioning of the ship and stuff like that.
Ooh, I got a good question.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a picture of any Marine falling out because it was too hot because he locked his knees? Like he did the whole face plant thing. Did you ever get that on camera?
I personally didn't, but that's because I didn't really do ceremonies. So because I was a production specialist, you know, the photography people would be doing stuff like the ceremonies and whatnot, and I was really only doing photo and video crossover, like when it was exercises or deployments or something. But yeah, I didn't really have to do the like mundane type of photo, video, ceremony stuff on base.
That.
Yeah.
And you got out as a sergeant, staff sergeant?
Sergeant, yeah. So I got out as a sergeant. I had a 5-year contract with Combat Camera, required a 5-year commitment. And I was like, if I got to do another year to get the job I want, then that's what it is. So I did 5 years, and then I got out and I went directly into school. So I got out in July of 2016, and I started my bachelor's at VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, yeah. Great school.
Yes. #1 public art school in the country. So it was the best school that I got into, basically. And I started in August. So I had like a couple weeks between getting out and starting my first semester.
Hey, one of your people are giving you guys crayons.
Every day's a Saturday. Who is that?
I don't know.
No, some crayons.
One of your Marines.
It's not one of my. I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is. Who are you?
You know, they used to call us as production specialists in Combat Camera, combat crayons. or combat Kinkos because
combat. That's a go. Combat Kinkos. That's actually kind of a good one. I like that.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to boot camp at?
I went to boot camp at Parris Island, South Carolina.
Yes. What company?
I was Oscar Company.
Well, Mr.
Oscar.
Brian.
Okay.
Roof.
Brian Roof. Hey, how are you, Brian?
Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Hey.
Oscar, huh?
So when I joined, they didn't have females at the West Coast boot camp yet. They do now, I believe.
Now
right?
they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when I joined, all the females went to Parris Island, and then the males would split from East Coast to West Coast.
I went to Parris Island, 2nd Battalion, 2081.
Dan Fleet Marines. Yep. I was there from July to like October. So
yeah,
some of the hot.
July's hot as shit. I remember that was Black Flag every single day for like a month.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that was horrible.
So how did you end up in Murfreesboro?
So I went to school in Richmond, Virginia at VCU, and I got my bachelor's there. Really before I graduated, the summer before I graduated, I came to Nashville and I did an internship. And that was partially because I have my cousin Jessica and her husband Kevin and their kids. They live in Nashville. And when I was getting out, I was driving cross country from California to Virginia to try to make it to school. I had like 5 days to make it there. And I stopped in Nashville one night and stayed with my cousins. And that's the first time I'd ever been there. And I was like, this place is cool. I'm going to be back. So I went back a couple times, and I was just not really planning on staying in Richmond. I was really just there for school. So I was looking for my next adventure, I guess. And so I got an internship in Nashville, and the people that I interned with hired me when I graduated, and I came and worked at a design studio agency for 2 years.
Nice.
Very cool.
It's called Locomotion Creative.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So I did design for them for 2 years. And about my 2-year mark is just when I was wanting more like freedom and stuff in my schedules, and I was doing a lot of, I'd started to get sober at the time, and I was doing a lot of therapy through the VA. I had a lot of appointments and meetings, and I decided to freelance so that I could work for myself and, kind of have more flexibility on, my life. I guess work wasn't my number one at that point in time.
Yeah. So you're doing solely freelance stuff now?
Yeah. So I do solely freelance now.
Awesome.
I'm so glad that I met you, because your designs have saved our VFW. Like, without you, nobody would know what was going on.
Yeah, and so that VFW, you guys started that VFW when I was still in Tennessee. And so I started doing stuff with them from the beginning, like their logo and everything. And I would come to the meetings, but then I don't live there anymore. Now I'm back in Ohio.
Hey, it's okay. You're still part of us. You're still on my roster. So you're not going anywhere. Unless Ohio wants to steal you, which I know the department commander, and it's female. It's the first one actually Ohio's ever had, is our first female department commander. And she might steal you from me, so I don't know.
Ooh, I didn't know about that. I might need to get that name from you.
Yeah, see? There you go.
Yeah, you shouldn't have mentioned it, man. You should have just told her that she's not allowed to
first female commander? That's pretty cool. Come on.
Yeah, no, she's really cool. I'll see her in Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know if you're up for that, but the national convention this year is going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, 5 hours away.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. That's like 10,000 vets all in one place. I mean, you get to talk to a lot of really cool people.
That's like in between where I'm at now and where you guys are.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm getting an Airbnb for all of us. You can stay with us. It's going to be fun. It's July 27th to August 1st. It's that whole week.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know, but that sounds cool.
Because I could come and I'm driving, so I could come and swoop and pick you up and then drop you off on the way back.
I I would be coming down from Ohio, and you'd be coming up from Texas.
Yeah,
okay.
You'd have to pass.
I'm a little far north for that, but I can meet you there.
Okay, all right. Or we could do halvesies, whatever you want to do. You just tell me, and I'll drive.
For sure. Cool.
I had a couple questions.
I have a question. You mentioned you mentioned your sobriety. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I saw on Facebook that you just hit a milestone. So I'd like to, first of all, congratulate you. I think that's a great job.
Thank you.
So what made you want to become sober? Was it any one thing?
I'll give a little bit of a long story short. I was drinking a lot in the military, as we do in the Marine Corps. Got out. I was drinking a lot in college, but kind of what I would call to like a controlled level. And when I got to Nashville, I was really having trouble controlling it, and it wasn't fun anymore because I was starting to get arrested and wrecking cars, and it's just every time I drank, something bad was happening. So it just really wasn't fun for me anymore. And yeah,
it's not funny. It just that's basic. That's like my story. I mean, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, well, I did that. I got 2 DUIs. I got arrested. I got this. I wrecked cars. I wrecked relationships. Yeah. Sorry. Continue. It's it's very familiar.
Yeah. So, well, Andrew was actually, you were about 3 years sober when I got sober. I remember.
I was, yeah. I remember. Yeah. That's right. I was.
I came when we started the VFW. I was already not drinking. And so I remember you were one of the only other people there not drinking with me. We were.
When we didn't even have a building. We had to meet at the other VFW in that little. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
So I tried to stop on my own at first. I wasn't going to meetings or anything. I was just not drinking, and it worked for a little bit, but I was like white knuckling it. Like I didn't know how to make it better. And I had a friend that I had met through in Nashville who had been sober. He got sober where he's from in Florida, and then had moved to Nashville, and he wasn't really going to meetings anymore, but I knew that he had said, like, if you want to go to a meeting, let me know. Kind of just threw that out there. And so I wrecked my Subaru. And this was like, I bought this new Subaru, and I wrecked it on like a Sunday afternoon after like a 2 days of like drinking. And the next day I called him and was like, I want to go to a meeting. And so he's like, all right, I'll pick you up tomorrow. Took me to a meeting house called Last Stop Club in Nashville. And that became my home group. And that's where I got sober. And it's just, there's a really great community of sobriety in the Nashville area. And, I got all my
friends. They have a lot of meetings in Nashville, like 202. I used to go to 202 Friendship House all the time. And now my home group is up here in Murfreesboro. And it's just, Leah, if you can stop me if I'm wrong, but we were sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah. Basically it wasn't. I realized at a later point that this is after I got sober, I started kind of addressing a lot of my like traumas and stuff, and basically figured out that I was drinking just to cope. Like that's what it was. And it wasn't fun anymore. I was miserable. I was, to the point suicidal when I would have hangovers.
Me too. Yeah.
I mean, when you're in meetings, like in AA meetings, everybody's story sounds, kind of similar. Like you can relate. And I've talked about this before, the crossover between the veteran community and the recovery community. My uncle said the other day, he said that Venn diagram is damn near a circle at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there was I met a lot of veterans, a lot of Marines that were, in the Nashville AA rooms, and people that I could relate to. And it was like when you talk to veterans and they are the only ones that get it because they've been through similar stuff. It's the same thing with like alcoholics. You talk to another alcoholic that's been through it, and like it's just different to have that someone who gets it, who's been through kind of the same stuff.
Yeah. That's true. Very true.
I just celebrate.
I want to commend you on everything you've done.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Because, you know, it takes a lot to accept and to accept the truth that you may have a problem. And I mean, I think I told you this once. You know how many times? I mean, you know how many white chips I have? They're in my room. I've got like 18 white chips. Like, I would go out and then I would stop drinking. Then I go out and then I stop drinking. Then I go out, and it's just I keep them just as a reminder. And you are just an amazing person, and I'm happy to know you. And it's just I'm glad you're in the fellowship, and that you're happy, joyous, and free.
Yeah. So I definitely started over a few times. That's for sure. That first meeting was not.
It happens. Hey, you know what? It happens. It happens sometimes.
It's how it goes. You know, I did pretty good at first. I thought. I mean, I had like 8 months my first stretch.
Yep, I remember that.
And then I had a 48-hour relapse where I totaled my car and got a DUI.
Ooh.
And so very quickly, you know, they would say this in meetings and I didn't understand it, is that there's always a worse relapse. Like there's always a worse bottom that you can hit. And so I got that, and I hadn't had a DUI. I had wrecked my car the first time and I didn't get a DUI.
Lucky.
Miraculously. Yeah, that's another story. But I totaled my car, I got a DUI. And I mean, even after that, I think I got like 4 months and then drank again. And then August 6th of 2022 is my current sobriety date. So I just celebrated 18 months on February 6th.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you were involved, if I remember, you were involved with IW and Reverend Warriors for a little bit too, right? Yeah.
So I did do some design for them. I was doing some like basically volunteer design work for them. And I was going to, you know, the hikes and stuff. And when I first started going to the hikes, I was still drinking. I have since been to a couple sober. But that, I mean, it's a big thing with, I think a Reverend Warrior is just trying to get a little more away from the drinking and
they are, yeah.
The just like veteran camaraderie. And I definitely wasn't like the only one not drinking there or anything. But that's how it started. I mean, at first when I started going, it was like, yeah, we do these hikes and we get drunk and it's fun and we stop at bars.
Oh, my first hike was Savannah 2017 and I was shit-faced.
Yeah.
After like an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and I was dating Katrina and I lied to her about it. And I went to dinner with my battalion commander and his wife and I lied to them about it, but they definitely knew that I was hammered.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't even get Nashville hike until I was 6 months sober. And Cindy gave me Nashville in 2019 and she came and Donnie came and Acevedo came and like all the big names, they came. And I remember did you come to that hike in 2019?
Yes, but that was probably my first hike in Nashville, but I wasn't sober in 2019, or was it 2020?
It was August 10th, 2019. I remember that day. That is forever written into my skull.
It would have been 2020. Would have been the first one I was at because I didn't graduate until December of 19.
Okay. Well, you missed a good one. We had 225, but Zach, he took it over, and he is just going strong. He's now leadership with IW. They have a foundation now. They're in Puerto Rico. They're in Italy. They're in Germany. They're in London. They're in Guam. They're in Alaska. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. And I'm going to Jacksonville, Savannah, Nashville. Those are my hikes for this year. That's it. I'm only doing 4.
Yeah. See, I went to Memphis, Nashville before I was sober, and then I went to Nashville, Knoxville while being sober.
Okay.
The next year. Yeah. Maybe one in Chattanooga. There was one year, there was like 5 in Tennessee.
Yeah, we did. We had 5 in Tennessee. If IW is listening right now, It was Memphis and Nashville and Chattanooga, Clarksville, Knoxville. We had the 5. Now we're back to Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville, and I think someone stepped up for Chattanooga, so we're back to 4.
Gotcha.
But I think you made the really cool Tennessee with the stars on it, and all the hearts were there, right? That was you, right?
No, I don't think so.
You didn't make that? I thought you did.
I did schedules for them. So I would do like every month a schedule would come out with where the hikes were all over.
Got it.
And so I did those for them for a couple of years.
Hey, those were awesome. Those were great.
Yeah, and I mean it was cool to see like how many hikes they really had going on, like just in 1 month all over the country. So
we just missed one last weekend. I mean, yesterday was
it?
South Florida. It was Angelo Martinez's hike, which I was supposed to go to, and I couldn't. I had to go. I had the National Convention, 192nd National Episcopal Diocesan Convention was yesterday. I couldn't get to South Florida. I had to usher. There was no way in hell I was going to make it. Angelo, I'm sorry, dude. I am so sorry.
Where at in South Florida? Key West? Or
it
Miami?
was Fort Lauderdale, I think. Fort Lauderdale. Buzz Bryan was there. Angelo.
Yeah.
It looked like it. Mario Sema was there. It looked like they had a lot of people. It looked good. Sure. Good job, Angelo. Good job, Barracks legend.
Barracks legend.
Hey, he's dude. That guy is a mover and a shaker, man. That guy just he doesn't know when to quit.
Yeah, wasn't he
that
the
guy
one
doesn't stop?
He was the one in Puerto Rico, right?
Mario was Puerto Rico. Angelo
Mario
is South Florida.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Leah, you gotta meet Mario. He is the coolest. He is the Oconus leader. So he does all of the hikes outside of the United States.
Gotcha.
And I think there's even talks about one in Scotland. And Bow, I'm sorry if I dropped that, but I don't know. I'd like to see one in Scotland.
I think Puerto Rico would be cool.
I was there on a cruise. Puerto Rico. Have you ever been, Leah, to Puerto Rico?
I have. Yeah, I just think a hike.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. You just came back.
My uncle actually lives there, and we went last spring, and we're going again in April. My boyfriend and I. So
I love the mofongo. I love the old castles. I love Puerto Rico. I had a blast. We were only there for 7 hours, but I had a blast. It was awesome.
Oh, you got to go back. The beaches. And I always recommend to people, if they haven't been, take the little ferry and go over to Vieques, which is a little island. Okay. And it's got wild horses and wild chickens everywhere. All you need is a golf cart to get around. And
cool.
They've got a black sand beach, which is super cool. And yeah, it's like very remote, but like very cool. It's got a bunch of like some little restaurants and stores and stuff. And everything's like kind of like Airbnb, like you stay at whoever's guest house.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Fleek,
so we're gonna stay like a few nights on Vieques this time.
We can go, man. Let's go. Yeah, I think we should have an outing.
Let's take the show on the road, man.
Let's take the show on the road. Leah, and bring your boy too. We're gonna have a party down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can be our tour guide.
We'll bring Nieves. We'll bring my fraternity brother from college, Craig Quechiola Morales. He lives on the western part, or he used to live on the western part of the island. He says it's great there. I've never been, but I want to try all that.
I haven't been really around the western side as much, but I heard that's like where like the laid back surfer vibes kind of is.
That's what I heard too.
So my uncle lives in San Juan, and so that's where I've like stayed and hung out. But he's got we cruised into San Juan, and we were there for 7 hours. We saw 2 castles. We saw the city hall. Went to a restaurant and then got back on ship. I mean, it was nice, but I mean, I could have been there for like a week. Right. You should go back. It's nice for like a week.
And I have to thank you, Leah, for the great poster for my District 5 running for District 5 commander. I think it looks great.
Awesome.
Except you didn't pay for it yet.
No. I paid for that one. No. The stuff that I owe her is from VFW stuff, like for our post, which I pay out of my own pocket. By the way, Paul Myers, quartermaster, I pay for out of my own pocket.
Why don't you just have them pay for it?
Because we don't have a lot of money, and I'd rather not have to ask permission and just pay for it myself, which you will. You'll get paid at 7:00 in the morning on Wednesday what I owe you. Guarantee.
Well, you just said it in front of America, so.
I did. In 53 countries and 518 cities. I did. Yeah. You heard it here, America.
All right, so what's
Leah,
next for Leah?
Oh, yeah. That was a good question. I was just going to get into that.
Yeah.
So I mean, right now I'm just doing my freelance stuff, and I have some new merch designs that are going to be coming out, which I think Andrew has seen some of them. But
they look badass. They are badass.
Thank you. We're doing. I've got a friend here locally that does photography, and so we're doing a shoot before that comes out, but probably beginning of March. It's hoodies, sweatpants, t-shirts. Stickers, stuff like that.
Do you have an online store?
Yes, I do. So it's aglercreative.com is my website, and I just have a merch page on there that you can order from. When I do the merch stuff, like this is what I did the last time, was like an embroidered. I'm doing a printed one this time, but I do pre-orders because I'm just a little too small to like have a bunch of inventory. So I'll open up a pre-order for like a couple weeks, and people can go on my website and order them, and then close the pre-order, and I order it and then ship everything out from here. When's
the new pre-order coming out for the new stuff?
I believe so. I'm hoping for March 1st. I've got the shoot not this week but next week.
Sweet. Well, count on me. I'm definitely gonna be getting some stuff.
Did I spell it right?
Yes.
Oh, damn! Look at that, man. You got a little bar down there. That's awesome.
I've also got like my work on there that people can go see. A lot of people that hit me up are like want to see examples of work, obviously. So that, and then my Instagram is Agler Creative, and I share a lot of my work there and as well. So yeah, I'd honestly just loving working for myself and doing stuff, on my own time, and waiting for it to get warm here in Ohio because it's been kind of cold. But other than
what's the temp?
I think it was like 30 something today.
Oh man.
Yeah, hell with that.
Oof.
I was just in Michigan for 2 weeks, man. It's rough up there, man.
It's 33 degrees right now.
We had those temps like 2 weeks ago, so yeah, keep them. Yeah. I don't really need them. No.
Yeah, we had some nice like 50s, almost 60 degrees for like 3 days, and I was like out running with my dog and stuff, and I was like, and then it dropped back down to 30, and I'm like, that was such a tease. Like Ohio gives you like 3 days of nice weather, and then it's like just.
Well, speaking of nice weather, do you still have a motorcycle?
I don't currently, but that doesn't mean that I won't again in the future.
Right on.
I love to ride, yeah, but I don't have one right now.
Here's an important question, Leah.
Yes.
Skyline or Gold Star?
I'm not a Skyline fan.
Me either.
And I don't know what it is. So.
No.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
Yeah, I mean, I knew of it, but like it wasn't really. I think I heard of it more after I got out of Ohio, when people are like, "Oh, you guys have Skyline chili," and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
I love me a 5-way, 4-way, cheese coney, whatever.
Oh, easy.
I love
this is a family show, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to pay extra for that.
I would imagine.
Sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
Damn. That was a good one, Fleek. Hey, who's winning?
San Francisco, 10-3.
Ooh. What quarter?
I gotta keep track of my squares. That's why I keep looking back to it. I don't want to get lost in my squares.
Yeah.
So
anymore.
So Leah, what are your plans? I mean, with the freelance, you've got your creative juices going with aglercreative.com. What do you see yourself in 5 years, 15, 10?
a 5-year plan.
5-year plan. So right now, my boyfriend and I are talking about leaving Ohio because of the cold. And the idea right now kind of is Puerto Rico, actually.
Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Wow, that's a big jump.
It's a big jump. It's not for sure, but like we're planning it out. Like long term, that's the goal.
Yeah.
We would like to be married before then. So hopefully that'll be happening sometime soon in the future. I'll let him know. Andrew wants to marry us.
Hey, 62 weddings in 7 years, and only one, and that one person is from Ohio, and it didn't work out. But 61 have worked out, so I'm definitely assured a good thing.
Yes, pretty good odds, man.
So the goal is to, I'd like to be married and be moved to the warm within a couple of years, I think. And I've got 2 dogs and he's got 2 dogs. So together we've got 4, 3 big dogs and 1 little one. So that's kind of our little farm handful. But
have you been looking at places to buy yet?
We've looked at like neighborhoods and prices and stuff. So when we go back in April, we're going to stay, with my uncle part of the time over on that little island part of the time. And we're going to, drive around, check out some like neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Oh shit.
Has your uncle ever been impacted by a hurricane?
I would say was it Maria? That was like 7-8 years ago or something. That was like a pretty big one that took out electric for a while. But he actually he's retired now, but he was working for Pfizer at the time. And so he went to the Pfizer plant and they were the only place that had generators, and he did have to sleep there for a little bit, I think. But on mainland, I think they got electric back, fairly quickly. I know the little islands take some more time. But I mean, all the buildings there are built for it. So if we had to evacuate, like we've got family obviously in the States, so we could always dip out. But I think that's the one that he was really
a good goal. That is a good 5-year plan right there. I like it.
Yeah. I'm done with that plan.
Well,
definitely, yeah. You get 2 checks from us for that plan. That is a good plan.
Yeah, so that's just kind of what we've been thinking of right now. With Agler Creative, I'm going to keep going with that. I do have one major client. It's called Concrete and Palm, which is another veteran-owned business. If you guys are interested, her name's Kat Bynum, who runs that, and she was combat camera as well.
Oh, I know that name. Was she on a hike?
Wouldn't have been with me, no.
Cat, just name sounds so familiar.
So I do a lot of stuff with Concrete and Palm, which is her marketing agency, and then I'm basically a contracted designer for her. And so being a part of her team is a big part of what I've been doing in my freelance and what that we've been steady growing as. So like I'm kind of my own entity as Agler Creative, but then I'm a part of this team with Kat as well, and that's I
am not friends with her. The name sounded really familiar. I had to look it up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi, Kat.
So yeah, I'm pretty for once. I'm like pretty content with how things are going. I guess I don't have any like major. I want to fix this or do this. I would like to continue with my sobriety, continue with my relationship and freelancing, and maybe just enjoy not having some chaos in my life for a little bit, and until the move comes, and then I'm sure that'll be.
So lessening the chaos is a very, very good thing.
Does your boyfriend drink?
He's a social drinker, but not problematically, luckily. And he kind of had his heavy drinking phase already. And he's like, I don't like to be hungover anymore. He's kind of grown out of it. And so he'll have a drink or two, or if we go to dinner or something, and I'm like, hey, I can drive home if you I want to have a drink. But like I would say rarely even does.
I say that same thing to Katrina all the time because she has a glass of wine maybe once a month.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have a mixed drink at dinner sometimes, or at a wedding or whatever. But
and it doesn't bother you?
No, I think the only thing that would bother me is if I was with like somebody who was heavy drinking all the time, or like, we don't have like bottles in our fridge or our freezer. Like there's no alcohol in our house, which there usually isn't, because if he wants to drink, he'll get like a little bottle for the night or something. So no, it hasn't bothered me. It's been kind of a good fit, I think, that he's kind of grown out of his heavy drinking, and I had to give it up completely. But
you look happy. You look good.
Thank you.
I'm proud to know you. Do you have any? We're getting towards the end.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Do you have any advice to give to? Wisdom to these people that are just getting out of the Marine Corps or getting out of the best service in the military, or the Navy or the Coast Guard or the Army or whoever. Do you have any wisdom for these cats, these boots?
Okay, so my first, yes, I do. One is do your disability claim before you get out. Take advantage of the disability claims and the benefits, because they're there and you deserve them, and you're not taking them from somebody else just because you get them, which I think some people think that way. Yeah. And I mean, if you want to go to school, the GI Bill is great. I mean, I still have a semester left. I graduated a semester early with using my GI Bill, and it covered everything. And so as long as you go to like a public school. So that's my other thing, is don't go to like a private for-profit school that your GI Bill is not going to cover. It's not worth it. So definitely like take advantage of your benefits. I've used the VA home loan. I used my disability. I've used the GI Bill. This is my second house with the VA loan. I bought one in Nashville, and then I sold that and bought this one in Ohio when I moved. So that one. What else? It's a little bit of an adjustment. So, be patient with yourself. And my last thing is probably the drinking. If you are a heavy drinker, maybe just keep an eye on that. Maybe think about why you're drinking. And if you have some trauma and unresolved things, then, utilize the VA, because I've done a couple very good therapy programs to the VA. I just did an EMDR program in Cleveland, and it was very helpful.
Oh, you did? You had some good stuff with the EMDR?
Yes. Yeah. I did like a 12-week, once a week, 12 weeks. And we ended up adding a couple sessions on the end, but we ended up processing through like 2 memories completely. And my score from the beginning to the end, like dropped significantly.
Wow.
So I really enjoyed, I think that it was very intense, but I do think that it got some results. And they say it's like 3 times more effective or quicker than regular talk therapy. So
I'm glad the EMDR, that's great. I didn't have too much luck with it, but I'm glad it worked for you. Yeah. I did the group thing. The group sessions were good for me. EMDR was great. It was good. But then it was like a tree and branches. They chopped the branches off, but they grew back. And I guess I just didn't have enough time with it. And I'm glad it worked for you, because that's great. That's really good.
Yeah. So I mean, most of it is like just utilize your benefits, because they're there, for you to have. And I've found myself needing a lot of them, and them coming in handy. And I know some veterans that don't use the VA, don't use the GI Bill, like they just don't utilize, their benefits that are there for them. And if you don't want to go to school, the GI Bill can always be transferred to your children now, I believe, and stuff like that. So just be aware of your benefits and how to use them and stuff.
Definitely.
God bless. That's great. That's fantastic. Leah, you hit all the topics in 2 sentences. You hit everything. Veterans, listen to her. If you don't listen to me or Fleek, listen to her.
Yeah.
She's a lot prettier than us. We got ugly mugs.
A lot.
Yeah. Fleek is like really ugly. Me,
yes.
I saw a picture when I was 2005. I had hair. My mom was like, "You look like Dad." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't look like Dad anymore." Nope. I am ugly as sin.
I don't think I've seen you without a beard in a while, Andrew.
I know. I've lost.
You gotta grow it back, man.
No, I lost 50 pounds, and I'm gonna go for my max. My max weight is 205 for my height. I'm at 224 as of this morning. I was 270 in October.
Damn.
I've lost a lot of weight. I've watched what I don't eat too many carbs. I watch what I eat. I'm trying to get back to like Ramadi shape, but it's just the older you get, the harder it is, man. I can't get that. I can't get to 220. I can't. Can't do it. It's tough. I'm gonna have to like cut off an arm or something, or a leg, and then me and Sal can like hobble around together. Sorry, Sal. Just kidding. I love you, dude. What? I love Sal. He knows I'm joking.
Leah, all I gotta say is if you move to Puerto Rico, just make sure you buy a house with a couple extra bedrooms in it because we're gonna be by to hang out.
Yeah, and plenty of mofongo for all of us.
Whatever that is. What the hell's mofongo?
Mofongo, okay.
The dish. You can get like steak or chicken or whatever, and it's almost like a rice consistency, but it's plantains, right? That's what it's made out of.
So good. Oh my God, it's so good.
Got like this little bowl of like plantain, like rice texture almost, and then they put like steak or chicken or whatever you want in it. And
it's I think I went to Rancie's. Yeah, I went to Rancie's in San Juan. Me and Katrina did.
I don't know of it. I'll have to write it down so I can look it up.
Hold on. I'm going to look it up right now for you.
But yeah, mofongo is like a traditional Puerto Rican dish, basically. I'd never had it until the first time I went there to visit my uncle. But yes, it's good.
Yeah, I've been to Puerto Rico a couple times. I've never tried it. Never even heard of it.
Marmalade, La Tortuga, no, La Madre, Don Tito. There's a lot of restaurants in San Juan. Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sophia's, Cochina, Senior Frogs. Nope, I did not go to Senior Frogs.
I did.
When I was there.
It's kind of lame.
I would have gotten in trouble if I went there.
So is this restaurant in New San Juan or Old San Juan?
It's in Old San Juan.
Oh, okay. It's not the one that has the flamenco dancers, is it?
No, but it's I swear, like it took us like 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk from the cruise ship. So it was like you took a right and then a left and went up a street. Boom. It was right on the left-hand side. It looked like an American McDonald's, but it was called something else. It was a chain.
Why don't you just eat at the Cheese Mess?
I don't know. Because Mario told me to go to this place. Oh, that's a good. Yeah, I went there. That was nice. Fogo de Chao, Cafe El Punto, Jibarito.
Do the Coast Guard have mid-rats?
Does the Coast Guard have mid-rats?
Yeah.
Why are you asking me?
Because you were just at the Coast Guard base.
Yeah. Oh no, dude, that base is freaking. I mean, Mario. Hey, he's a logistics chief, but that base is tiny, dude. I think anybody and everybody can get on that base. You don't. I mean, you can flash something real quick. Oh, hey, come on. Their PX. Their PX is the size of this room that I'm in right now.
Oh gosh.
The Chiefs mess, that's pretty cool. If Mario was on, Mario, where are you? You have to answer these questions. Where are you? But I don't know. I love San Juan. Everything about it was great. Leah, I hope we get to visit you when you do go to San Juan.
Me too. That's the goal. So we'll see.
Well, first we got to get you married, which I married Fleek's daughter to her husband. That was the last wedding I ever did. Damn.
That was in September.
That was the last. No. Yeah. Was that the last wedding I ever did this year? Yeah. That's the last wedding I did.
It was in September. So what about, I don't know how long ago that was. 5 months, 6 months ago.
But I do it right. You know,
it was pretty good.
And if you fly me down to Puerto Rico, we'll call it even.
I think we're hoping for the wedding part prior to Puerto Rico, because all of our family, that's what they've been asking. They're like, so are we going to have a destination wedding? And I think that we'll try to have a wedding in Ohio with all of our family prior to the move. Plus, we want to be able to use the VA loan together and all that. So
no, that's great.
Is your boyfriend a veteran?
He's not. No, he actually was my high school sweetheart. We dated. We dated when I was like 16 and he was 17, 18.
God, that's so cute. Oh my God, it's so cute.
We have prom pictures, which is
my Lord. That's awesome.
But we reconnected when I moved back to Ohio about a year and a half ago. My dad was sick at the time when I sold my house and moved back. He passed last April.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Thank you. Yeah, he had cancer for the second time. And so I moved back partially because my job, I could do that because I was working for myself. And, I wanted to be here to help with it. I took him to appointments and stuff like that. Honestly, I was like, if he's got a year left, I don't want to spend it not in Ohio. So I sold my house and came back, and it kind of it worked out timing wise that I reconnected with my boyfriend. And being in Ohio is where I needed to be at the time, but now we're thinking about what's next.
Time to move on. So I have one more question before we let you go.
Yeah.
When you're having an argument with your boyfriend, do you like throw the knife hands up at him?
No, I don't think so. I think I've been out. Honestly,
good question.
Good question. I think it's a little flushed out of me. But I will say that when I initially got out of the Marine Corps, I went straight into doing graphic design at VCU, which is a pretty liberal art school. And so I went into freshman classes in a liberal art school after being in the Marine Corps, and it was a culture shock. So that's another thing for veterans. If you're getting out and you're going directly into school, it might be a culture shock. So
yes, be
patient with yourself and maybe get involved with veterans. I did Student Veteran Association in college, and that I think that really helped.
Yeah, man. They just had the 16th annual national convention for SVA in Nashville a couple months ago.
Yeah. So at one point, my friend James, he was the president and I was vice president of the SVA at VCU. And we kind of got it going again. There wasn't much of a Student Veteran Association going on, but we kind of got it rolling again. And that was just nice to have people in the same boat as you.
Yeah. I got to tell you, the president, the guy in charge of all of SVA, Jared Lyons, that guy rolls deep, man. That guy has a security detail. They are all Marines. They all have earpieces. He rolls deep. And I'm like, why would the SVA be rolling deep with all this security?
I don't know.
But he did. I mean, every single one of them had an earpiece. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck?
That's intense.
Intense. But Leah, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for sharing with us for an hour and 10 minutes of your life and your dreams and what you've been through and what you've done and what you've accomplished. And I truly admire you as a person. Love you as a comrade. Thank you for being a VFW member, and thank you for helping out the VFW.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
Yes, I'll be emailing you about my logo. So right now my logo is just like a script. It's minutes wisely. So what I'm kind of looking at, I'll give you my 30-second spiel here. I'm looking to keep the script part, the minutes wisely part, but I want to add a clock with the hands at 11/11. Obviously, the 11/11 would signify Veterans Day. My nonprofit is all veterans, and we send veterans to sporting events. So
Nice.
if it had a little nautical flair, I wouldn't hate it to represent the Navy. But you know, something like a timepiece or a clock that says 11/11 and then minutes wisely with the script in it. But I'll shoot you an email.
That's the restaurant. It's called Restaurante Races. It's on Recinto Sur San Juan 00901 Puerto Rico.
You might have to see that.
They had, I'll send it to you. They have amazing mofongo. It was amazing. It was awesome.
I think you just like saying mofongo.
I love saying mofongo. Don't you like saying mofongo?
I've never heard of it until this episode.
I had never heard of it until my first time visiting Puerto Rico, and they're like, "You have to try mofongo."
I just sent you the restaurant, Leah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Fleek. Thank you, Leah.
Yes, thanks, Leah. And I'll be emailing you shortly. All right, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye, TSP world.